Welcome back to my Final Fantasy XIV drama series. Today's drama story is about hurt people hurt people. If you enjoy these kinds of videos, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Hello! Thank you so much for letting me share my drama story. Before I begin, I would like to note that there are always two sides to a story, with the truth somewhere in the middle. Everyone's feelings are valid, and all I hope for the people that I am speaking about today is that they are happy. Aww, that's a nice message at the beginning of their story. I have kept many details out for respect and to keep things anonymous. I am super nervous to share this story, but have been encouraged and reassured by a good friendly potato and my family. So please grab a snack, get cozy, and here is my Final Fantasy XIV story. I've played MMOs for a long time, and when my friends from World of Warcraft came to Final Fantasy XIV, I of course had to try it out. My friend Skylar was already in an FC, and I soon joined them. My other WoW friend, Freya, joined us as well. With the help of kind, veteran FC members, Ellie and Nico, I quickly began to love this game. The story, the glam, the non-toxic players, it all came as a much-needed escape from my real-life problems, my marriage. I knew how important good communication was, and we could not communicate well at all. I felt alone, but I wanted to fix my marriage, grow, and work on my problems. I always had hope. Back in Eorzea, our FC began to add some new members. One in particular was Jordan. Jordan introduced himself by saying his character was just like him, meaning he made his character to look like himself and named it after himself. Trigger warning for a bit: physical abuse. Endwalker came, and in real life, my marriage was ending too. After a scary night of physical abuse, the one and only time, luckily, all I could think to do, in shock, was get in Discord with Skylar and Nico. I stayed silent, tears streaming down my face, but their voices and jokes gave me more comfort than they will ever know. Oh my god, that's really sad. But I hope OP's okay now. Total shock, no sleep, and paranoia. I had PTSD and did not know it. In my real life, there were constant fights and more crying. But back in Eorzea, Jordan and my friends helped me through, still without knowing the awful details of what I was really going through. Jordan and I would stay in Discord as everyone else, one by one, would go to sleep. Jordan could tell in the short time that he knew me that something was wrong. He kept commenting about how odd it was that some people use Final Fantasy as an escape. I got the hint and eventually told Jordan about my real life problems. It's not just Final Fantasy. There are some players who, want to escape IRL and use video games to do that. It's not just a Final Fantasy XIV thing. It's a lot of video game thing. I started couples therapy and trauma therapy, but still, my marriage was over. No one hopes for an ending like this. It's true. Back in the game, our FC was going through its own drama. Jordan asked if I wanted to get married in game for the glam and the mount, of course. Maybe we could resurrect our dying FC by inviting everyone and making an event out of it. So I said yes. We invited everyone we knew. Well, that didn't work. Our FC fell apart anyway, and all the officers left, including my great friend Ellie. So Jordan and I started a new FC to try and keep everyone else together. By now, my real life was all about healing, and with therapy and a very supportive family, I was beginning a new journey. Over time, Jordan and I had started video chatting, and he did sort of resemble his in-game character. We became closer friends. He was there for me in-game and out, encouraging me to pick myself up and keep going. Now, my divorce was done, which is when Jordan asked me if we could meet in person. We discussed it a few times, and I was hesitant. So I did a background check and Google searched Jordan. I talked to a few of his friends on the phone, and eventually we decided to meet. Yeah, it's kind of scary meeting someone on the internet, right? Like, do you know if this person is like okay to meet? Like, maybe be around other people. That's probably the best thing to do. Don't just go one-on-one. Like, maybe have some people around. Like, at a fan fest is probably a great place to meet people, right? Yeah, so it's scary to meet someone on the internet sometimes. It's just you and them. I was so nervous the day Jordan drove to meet me. I was shaking. We planned to spend time in a neutral place. As he said, he had the same concerns I did. I just wanted to hug and thank this friend who helped me through such a dark time in my life. Though I still wasn't through it completely yet, I was still healing and working on myself. Well, I got that hug, and then I received what should have been my first warning to stay away from Jordan. Jordan told me that this actually wasn't his real name. He showed me his driver's license. I was freaking out inside, but he explained it away. Wait, why was his name different? That's scary. That night, I did a paid search of his real name and still nothing came up. So, red flag 1 ignored. I'm going to throw you all into a time machine with me, zipping past the lies, the gaslighting, the unresolved issues, and many more red flags because this story isn't really about Jordan in the end. We dated, long distance, but why was I constantly feeling like something was off in my gut? Communication skills, all the work I was doing to grow, to cope with PTSD, to start my life over. Was I still just causing all of my relationship problems myself? I was getting on Final Fantasy less and less. Wait, they never explained why Jordan's name was different. Yeah, they never explained it. Okay, anyway, maybe later. I was getting on Final Fantasy less and less. Jordan didn't like seeing me in Discord with Skylar, Nico, Freya, and Ellie without him. He questioned what I was talking to them about, called them bad people and questionable to trust. He would video call me in the middle of roulettes with them. Red flag 2 ignored. Eventually, I only got on the game when Jordan did, and then not at all. Sharing my feelings was a problem with him. Money he borrowed wasn't being paid back, and I was barely making it myself. Oh no. Over these months, Jordan met my family and I met his, but in between the in-person joy was many weeks of constant hurt. After only seeing each other in person less than a handful of times, I realized why I was having this same gut feeling. Jordan was not who he portrayed himself to be in front of everyone else. He was not his character. So how he was acting in the game is just not who he is in real life. I broke up with him, but desperately wanted the friend in my life who had encouraged me and helped me. I tried to stay friends for 2 days. Then Jordan video called me and asked if I was looking for bums. I asked what he meant. He said, "The only reason you could have to break up with me is that you found someone else. You're only going to find bums compared to me." I yelled. I said he had crossed all of my boundaries all this time, and I was done. I hung up. Wait, where did he get the whole bums thing from? Like, he just said that out of the blue, like, yeah, you're just gonna find bums. Maybe he's just like generalizing like Final Fantasy 14 players to be bums. They say hurt people hurt people. Well, we were both hurting. I called Jordan later that night, cussed him out, told him to lose my number, and I blocked him on my phone. I'm not proud of how I acted. I know I did this the wrong way. Now, here is what my story is really about. I don't think there was any wrong or right way to go about that, you know? You just break up with him, just do what you gotta do. I was depressed. All the work I was doing on myself ended up going backwards. It felt like karma, like I hadn't learned a thing. I kept trying to pick myself up, but my friend was gone. Oh, okay, wait. Opie did date Jordan, but then they just wanted to keep them around as a friend. So them saying, yeah, get rid of my number. I don't even want to be your friend. Okay. That's where it's at. Because I was just wondering, like, yeah, they dated, but now they're saying I lost my friend. So, yeah, that makes sense. But my friend was gone. And meanwhile in Eorzea, I hadn't spoken to Skylar, Freya, Ellie, or Nico in months. I hadn't been a good friend or FC officer to them. I logged in for a few days in a row to crickets. I got the courage to message Ellie on Discord. I apologized and let Ellie know some of what happened with Jordan. For some reason, I just didn't want to tell it all. I wanted to make sure Jordan still had his Eorzea friends too. Maybe I even knew how dumb it was to ignore all those red flags. They felt embarrassed with the warning signs. And that's like normal. You know, people feel that way. People make mistakes all the time. They think they know someone. Person doesn't end up being what they thought they were going to be. And I could understand that this person I thought I knew was hurting, was also sad, and had his own problems to work on. Yeah, OP sounds pretty understanding. Ellie told me, F that and F him. I wish I had never invited him to our old FC. I never liked him. Kick Jordan from your FC if you can, or tell him to leave. Stay with everyone else. But it felt wrong, so I left my little home, my FC, and my friends. I took Jordan off my friends list and removed my FC room with the wedding cake and all. I got hold of everyone else and apologized for being a bad and absent friend. After all, they had unknowingly done for me. I told Nico and Freya and a newer FC friend too, Fuyu, that I don't want any in-game drama. I never want to group with Jordan again, but that they could, of course. I figured out how to divorce Jordan in the game and got rid of my eternal band. I thought, it's all over now. So for the next month, I would get in the game and send a hi, or how's your week been, or what are you up to tonight, to Freya and Nico. Every night, no response. They would be in the same town as me, queuing up for things all night and not say a word. I felt miserable and told Ellie what was happening. Ellie said, did you tell them what actually happened with Jordan? But I didn't. Instead, I sent Nico a message on Discord just saying, hey, if you guys ever have room, I would love to group with you. Nico told me later that they tried to invite me. We had a conversation about Jordan taking their gil and not returning it, about Jordan telling everyone that I wanted to be left alone and to not talk to me. For a while, I was able to play with my friends again. What? So Jordan basically out here telling people to not interact with OP. We were already kind of seeing that with how OP was telling the story. For a while, I was able to play with my friends again. Freya, who I had known for 8 years now, Nico and Fuyu too. It felt nice, but different for some reason. And Clumsy, my other friend, saw I had no FC and invited me to theirs. I hadn't been able to put Jordan on my blacklist since we didn't chat or group. Oh yeah, that is such a thing, right? You have to like, you can't just blacklist someone out of the blue. You had to like see them like whisper something to you, say something in chat. They have to say something in the chat for you to blacklist them. Eventually, he took the opportunity to start stalking me in game. At first, he would come to Elpis, where I liked to sit, and ask me how I was. I still missed my friend, but then he would tell me all the ways I hurt him and wronged him, how I just didn't get him. After a few nights of this, I blacklisted him after telling him to please just leave me alone. He then started using his eternal band. But how? To teleport to me whenever I was grouped with someone he knew was a male IRL. Wait. So if one person still has the ring, they can still TP to you even if the other person destroyed it? I guess that's why OP is like, how? Jesus. Invasion of privacy. That's terrible. They need to get rid of that. If someone breaks the ring, they shouldn't be able to anymore because it's like the connection is broken. That's so weird. He even harassed Fuyu so badly, following him around in game, asking him if I had sent him pictures of myself and why he was grouping up with me, or if I was going to marry him in game, and so much more. Fuyu left Jordan's FC that night, and I reported Jordan for the harassment and tried to move on again. Now I felt I really had caused my friends all that drama I hoped to keep them from. I apologized to them in Discord again. I left my newest FC to help Fuyu level his FC up and help him get an FC house. I felt it was the least I could do. And for a time, things seemed calm, but still off. I was feeling sad each night when I logged off the game, but didn't understand why. They have to be lonely. They miss their friends, right? That's why OP's sad. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and on. Freya, Nico, Fuyu, and I did roulettes, maps, and more. Fuyu would log off, Freya would say goodnight, and then Nico would tell me, "Welp, going to do something else, good night." Then they would go play with someone else. Fuyu got on a bit earlier in the evening, so we got to know each other, ran variant dungeons, and once in a while Fuyu would ask me personal questions before the others logged in. "Hey, you don't have to answer, but do you have friends in real life? I'm just curious. Did Jordan treat you well? Did you ever yell at Jordan?" And then one day they said, "You know, I don't think you have to worry about Jordan anymore. He even said hi to me. I think he will be nice now." A few nights later, Freya and Nico both suddenly said they had to get to bed early. I said goodnight, and a bit later I went to Rod's at Han. Caught a glimpse of orange names, Freya, Nico, and Jordan joining a dungeon. Oh, that's awkward. Oh, I'm gonna go to bed early. And then you see them like in a party in Rod's at Han, all of them hanging out there. I finally realized why I was feeling so off. It all hit me at once. Jordan must be talking to all of them about me. It didn't matter to me what he said, but maybe it mattered that my friends were listening to it. I think my friends were intending to spare my feelings, but it was doing the exact opposite, and we weren't communicating well, were we? But now I could use what I had been working on so hard in my life. What they've been working on is just always communicating. Like, that's the theme of the story. Always have good communication. I first sent a message to Nico on Discord. "Hey Nico, you don't need to tell me or anyone what you do with your time in the game. If you feel the need to tell me though, it's okay to say Jordan's name. If I'm making assumptions or being confusing, let me know. I would like to talk about it." No response. The next day, I spoke to Freya. "Hey Freya, I sent Nico a message to let him know that Jordan's name isn't Voldemort. You all can say his name in front of me." Freya replied, "Oh my god, are you mad at me? I'm so sorry. I thought you are going to think I lied to you. Jordan has been demanding that we group with him, only him, whenever he's on. It's so annoying. I'm sick of it. And I try to ignore him. But Nico, he feels so bad for Jordan, and I don't want to leave the FC and Nico alone with him." I don't know. Do we believe that? Do we believe that? Or is she just saving her ass? I told Freya, "I'm not mad at all, just sad. I hope I haven't done or said something that makes you all feel you need to lie or not group with whoever you want." Then I tried to talk to Fuyu, though there was a slight language barrier, and I'm not sure we came to an understanding. I just said, "I just want peace like you, and I don't want to hear what Jordan is saying about me." Nico never responded to my message, and Fuyu didn't log in for a few days. The next time I grouped with Freya and Nico, they said they were logging off again for the night, but they were still online in my friends list a bit later, grouped up with someone else. Probably, you know, Jordan. I had had enough of Final Fantasy, the story, and despite all the memories I had with my friends and Jordan, it just didn't feel fun anymore. I sent Fuyu a letter in Eorzea telling him I really appreciated the time in his FC and deposited some gil and housing items I had bought for his FC house into the company chest before I left. I waited and no one said a thing but Fuyu. He said he didn't understand, and I didn't think I could keep explaining it. I left all the Discord servers, and after a few days of seeing them around in-game still, I took them off my friends list one by one. Oh, that's so sad. They lost all their friends. I was so sad. I tried so hard. Did I do the right thing? You know what? I feel like when there's a couple and they split up, I feel like the guy can easily make people turn against the girl than it is for the girl to make people turn against the guy. People always assume that like the girl could be psycho and crazy more easily than the guy. It's like, I feel like people believe the guy's word more than a girl's word. I'm straight up wrong on that. I feel like it is a bit. You feel it's the opposite, like a girl. Yeah, maybe, okay. Maybe it's the same. It's probably the same because you guys are guys and you experience the girl going crazy. And then the girls, on the other hand, would feel like the guy turns everyone on them. So I think it goes both ways. So you guys have experienced it with girls and girls have experienced it with guys. I think things are getting better now with people like trying to figure out both sides. People will believe what they want to believe. Yeah, I guess there's that. I think it's just better to just keep your business to yourself, like just how the OP was doing. But Jordan was definitely telling people. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's a red flag when anyone, boy or girl, says to a group of people, hey, don't play with that person anymore. Like, if someone is trying to control other people and who they play with, that is huge red flag for me. I hope that other people know that too. But sometimes they don't. And they like listen. And it's like, why? You're literally just picking a side. Well, you have two friends here and you're just picking a side. And you don't know the other side. In real life, I am still working on myself. I started my own art business and plan to go back to college. I've been making some amazing friends. Back in Eorzea, Freya sent me one last tell. So, did you find a new FC? I replied, no, I hope you've been doing well. Have a good night. Clumsy started checking on me. He came to my newly won and first ever house to check it out, sign my book, and see how I was decorating. You know, I started a new FC after all the drama I had, Clumsy said. You're always welcome. I just said, I need time. Every day, Clumsy would keep checking on me. How are you doing? I know we haven't talked much, but every time I see you without an FC, I like to make sure you're okay. In other words, Clumsy's like, you want to join my FC? You still got no FC. Please join my FC. I knew, and I really did appreciate it. Doing okay today? Clumsy asked me. It seemed like they cared about me. And after a few more days, Clumsy said, listen, some people say I'm blunt, but all you're doing is making yourself miserable. Followed quickly by, sorry, I just don't like seeing anyone alone. I know how it feels. Clumsy was so right. And now I am in a small, friendly, caring FC again. I feel happy again in Eorzea. I caught up with the story. I can't wait for Dawn Trail. A few weeks ago, I noticed Jordan popping up at all the zones Clumsy and I were running maps in, one after the other. I told Clumsy everything. Oh my god, Jordan's still around, popping in with the ring. A few days went by and Clumsy and I went to group up in Ul'dah. All of a sudden, Jordan teleported in right on top of me, which looked to me like him using his eternal ring again. I told Clumsy, there's my ex again. And then Clumsy sent Jordan a tell. What's your problem? Jordan said, just leave that woman alone. Clumsy sent me a screenshot of their conversation. Jordan tried to say he didn't know what Clumsy was talking about, as he quickly ran off. He told Clumsy that he was simply turning in his fashion report, but he had something to say about me as well. Jordan told Clumsy, you're a fool if you listen to her crap, and I'm going to report you. Then everything stopped. Just like that. All it took was a friend to just stick up for me. All I wanted was to keep healing in real life, move forward, grow, and learn to communicate better, and have my friends in Eorzea. I made new friends and rediscovered the ones I had all along. I still miss Freya, Skylar, Fuyu, Ellie, and even Nico. I wish the best for them and hope they enjoy Dawn Trail. I still hope Jordan will grow and find happiness, and I wish the best for his friends and family too. But you are damn sure that I will be using the new blacklist features in Dawn Trail. I can't wait. My Final Fantasy drama has been a roller coaster, but has taught me a lot. Learn what red flags are, pay attention to them, listen to your gut. It's okay to set boundaries and not let people cross them. Communication is key. Everyone communicates differently. If you don't have the right tools to create good communication, it's never too late to learn. If you feel stuck in a relationship or feel hopeless or alone, know that you are thought of and cared for by people around you. Reach out for help, even if it's scary, or be someone who will offer help or a listening ear. You never know what someone in Eorzea is going through in real life. Thank you. And the end. I would say the OP that submitted this drama story was really calming. They're learning. They're being patient. They seem really kind and have a warm heart. That's the vibe I get off them with this story. Just sucks that like nice people can be taken advantage of. Like Jordan really messed with her. If Jordan was able to turn all these people around to not really like hang out with OP anymore, it means like either Jordan was just a closer friend to them, or he must have said something that really made them think a certain way, and they're all just young and they believed it. Also, it's so weird. It's like you already took away OP's friends away from her and you're still stalking her and being annoying. He kept teleporting with his ring to see who she was hanging out with. Like, no, she cannot have any friends. That's crazy. Leave her alone. She's trying to make new friends. Move on already. You got your friends. You did what you wanted. Can't you just let OP be? My general rule of thumb is be very cautious of what overly charismatic people say. Yeah. And Jordan, I feel like, was saying a lot to his friends. Took one friend, Clumsy. So Clumsy was that awesome friend that told Jordan, like, go away. Leave her alone. Clumsy didn't believe Jordan, didn't want to have anything to do with Jordan. So I think Jordan maybe realized then and there, like, you know what? I can only convince people I know, not randoms I don't know. Maybe that was why he just disappeared finally. Isolating someone is one of the most awful things people can do to anyone. Yeah, we have gotten, like, I've been reading some revenge stories today, right? Where people just want to seek vengeance and destroy the other person. And it's like, damn, it's just a video game. Leave them alone. Like, yeah, you're hurting. They're also hurting. But, like, don't make things worse. And also, yeah, the new blacklist system, finally. I'm pretty sure OP is using that like they said they would. They don't have to see Jordan ever again. Maybe with the new blacklist system, even if Jordan like teleports, it's not like OP can see them. Yeah, the new blacklist system just turns something into an invisible stalker, basically. Do not EB with weirdo people. But that's the thing. How do you know? Like, how do you completely know they're not strange at the beginning? People can put their best foot forward and be a completely different person, make you like them, you get married to them. They end up going crazy on your ass. I'm trapped. They still see what you write, but you just don't see what they write. And sadly, other people see what they write. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this Final Fantasy XIV drama story. Remember, these are real people behind the stories and they're human and can make mistakes. They'll also be reading the comment section, so please try to have constructive criticism. There are always nicer ways to say something versus saying it meanly to help someone learn and grow. If you have any of your own drama stories that you'd like me to share and read out anonymously, feel free to reach out to my Discord, discord.gg/Pathra.